All right, so before we go farther with this plan, what we want to do is hide some of these like kind of boundary lines that we've made because we don't want this to appear on our plan. It's going to be confusing. So you just click on any one of those lines, right click and say hide in view category. All right, so now it's cleaned up. So next thing we want to do is to add a bar scale and a north arrow. All right, so to do that, you actually have to go over to annotate, and it kind of has its own way of pulling in components. If you were to go to architecture component, there is a whole folder of all of these symbols, but they give you this weird error message and it doesn't tell you what you need to do. So what you actually have to do is you have to go to annotate and then way over here to the right to symbol. And so if you already have downloaded something, it's going to be here. So I've already downloaded them because I've done this multiple times. But what you're going to do now instead, since you probably don't have it, is you're going to go to load family. And then I'm in here in another folder. So you want to kind of go up to the US one, the kind of parent folder, then go to annotations. Most of what you need is going to be in this this main folder right here. So the first thing we want is a bar scale. So they don't call it a bar scale, they call it a graphic scale. So this one is perfectly fine, the GA. There's a couple of other ones. So just stylistically, whatever one you kind of prefer. But like I said, I like this GA graphic scale. It prints really nicely. All right, so we're going to say open. Mine's already loaded, so it's not really going to do much, but there it is. So it's showing up now. You will need to put a bunch of dimensions in. So I would say plant this one a little bit farther down, about here. And then we're also going to add a north arrow. So same idea. Go back to, whoops, hold on, sorry. Go back to annotation, symbol, load family. And then back in that folder, you now want a north arrow, and they're again alphabetical, so they're farther down the bottom. And we have kind of three options. So this one's kind of just like telling you what's up and down, I guess. And this one you can rotate if you wanted to. I like this one. It's nice and clean, but again, you can use whatever one you like. So I'm going to open that up. Then, so I already have one in there. So I'm going to say yes, overwrite existing. It was just like an old one. So it's still trying to bring the bar scale for some reason. So instead, if you want to go, if that's happening to you, go over to this drop down. And then here's where you're going to find like the annotations that have been loaded. So there's my north arrow. I'm going to stick it right here next to that. All right. So now we have pretty much everything set up to start making copies of this. So we're going to leave, right now you can see these are our elevation markers. We're going to leave these on. If you have any other elevation markers that are in your kitchen, you want to hide those because we were just using them to build stuff. We're not actually going to print elevations on this plan. We are eventually going to put in section markers, but I'm going to do that with you in class Thursday. So now this level 1 is good to go to start making copies of it. So what you want to do is click on level 1 here, right click, and say duplicate view with detailing. That means it's going to copy all of your room tags, the bar scale, the north arrow, all that important stuff. So my first one, I'm going to rename, and I'm just going to call this floor plan. Oops, take off. Actually, yeah, keep all caps on. So floor plan for that. So that's my first one. We'll go and kind of fix this in just a minute. Go back to level 1, right click, and say duplicate view, duplicate with detailing. This will now be your furniture plan. So again, rename that, call that one furniture plan. All right, there's one more we're going to do. So back to level 1, right click, duplicate view, duplicate with detailing, and this is going to be floor finish plan. All right, let's see, rename, there we go, floor finish plan. All right, okay, so with the floor plan, we'll go open that guy up. Oh, gotta save again. Now we're here in the floor plan. This is where you're gonna put all your dimensions. There's another video for that. I will send you the link. That's gonna be homework. That's where you're gonna start on. Only thing we have to do here first is hide all the furniture. So I'm gonna start with this chair, right click, say hide in view, category. Now notice there's still a lot of tables and stuff in here too. So these are my kind of workstations. They have their own category. Basically it's workstations. So you're going to click on that, right click, say hide in view, category there. That should clean most of it up. So you do want to leave your kitchen cabinets. because remember when we talked about this last semester in residential, these are things that other trades folks are going to come in and build. So often there is going to be elevation marks here and section marks. This is all built-in shelving too. These are all base cabinets and a counter, so they're staying there also. All my bathroom equipment, because again, on this floor plan, we want to see where we have things that are attached to the walls, things that include plumbing and stuff like that. Now, if you want to, you can now move your labels around to kind of center them. So say, for example, on this break room, if I clicked on it, it'll kind of move over to here. You don't have to do that. It's not incorrect to have them kind of in these funky spots. And this will not affect where the labels are in the furniture plan. Like once you copy them, they're still their own like unique little pieces here. So it's up to you if you want to move them around. But in this right here, I have like a half wall kind of around my reception desk. So this should be here, and we're going to dimension all this. So this now is the plan that you're going to put dimensions on. I will send you the video for that. Dimensioning actually is really quick and easy in Revit. It's very forgiving. You should be able to kind of buzz through this pretty quickly. And a lot of my review will just make sure that you all remember kind of the logic of how we lay out our dimensions. All right, so once this has dimensions in it, this floor plan is done and ready to go on our sheet. If we go to the furniture plan here, this is all done. This is again ready to go on our sheet. And then the floor finish plan, this is something I'm going to make a separate video of. But actually first, while we're here, you're going to hide all the furniture again. So we'll go ahead and hide and view category. We'll go ahead and do that. Hide and view category. I would probably turn off all of this stuff here because probably what they're going to do is come in. I think I have carpet in here, lay all the carpet, then put these things on top of it. Your kitchen can go kind of either way. So best scenario, honestly, is they come in and put all the flooring in, and then they put your cabinets on top of it. Because if you were ever to change those cabinets, the flooring's still there. What a lot of older homes do, and sort of like what happens in, like I said, a lot of our houses, is they'll put the cabinets in and then they'll run the flooring right up to the base of the cabinet. That's not necessarily incorrect, but it gives future renovation less options. You know what I mean? You're stuck to literally this kind of shape, or you're stuck trying to match flooring. So in my case, I would suggest hiding all this cabinetry. So we're going to say hide and view category. And then these rooms should get pretty blank. Like I said, now you're hiding the appliances, so hide and view category. And I think our sinks are still there. Because again, if my toilet is floor mounted, I'm going to put all my tile in and then put my toilet over it. Like I'm going to make sure there's a hole drilled for the plumbing and pipes and things like that. But these things that are kind of the plumbing stuff, we're probably going to hide in view too. Because again, the trades folks will have seen the other plans. They'll know what's happening there. But this plan, floor finish plan, is purely for the flooring folks. So we want to kind of have this open and clean. We'll talk about how to get that pattern in there in another video. All right, before we go any further, there's one more thing we have to do to clean things up. So if we go back to floor plan, you're going to wait to put in your dimensions before you do this step, but I'm going to just show you how this works. So down here, there's a thing called a crop box. So it says show crop region. So there's basically a little crop symbol with a little light bulb. So now we're going to show it. So what this is doing is this will eventually tell Revit how much white space to crop out before we put it on a sheet of paper. So right now there's way too much white space. The other thing is these guys right here get a little quirky and they will show up no matter what we do. So this is part of the programming that helps make the exterior elevations of this model. So we're going to also hide these symbols. So we're going to right click, hide in view category. All right, now they're gone. Okay, now once we click on this crop box, see how it has all these little handles? So once you have your dimensions in, you're going to crop this in roughly to where your dimensions are. This will also eventually tell Revit where it's going to put your title bar. So I'll show you that when we put it on our sheets. And now that's good to go. So now you have to turn it off before we print it because we don't want this to print. It will print if you don't turn it off. So then you turn it off. But if you find that you need more space for your dimensions, turn it back on. Make sure you're not cutting them off. Pull this up, say for example, and then turn it back off. So let's do the same thing for furniture plan and floor finish together. So if you click on furniture plan, same thing. We're going to hide these elevation marks first. So hide and view category. All right, we're going to turn on the crop box. And see, it's way out there. So now this isn't going to have any more information. It's not going to have any dimensions. So now you can pull this box in pretty tight to where everything is. And I'm going to bring it right up to there. Okay. And once I'm happy with it, I'm going to turn it off. Same for floor finish plan. We're going to go there, turn on the crop box. Oh, we got to hide these guys too. So click on the elevation marks, right click, hide in view category. And then now crop this in because again, now hold on, I'll explain in a minute. This one's not going to have dimensions. What this is going to have though is eventually we're going to add in little pictures to have kind of a chart of what's happening over here. So basically we're going to make a little schedule over here of what's the flooring and what's the texture that matches that flooring. So you might have it underneath here or you might have it at the left and the right. So for now, I'm going to leave some space over here on the right, but we'll kind of come back, turn this on and off as you do your floor finish plan. So for now, I'll just leave mine on just so we don't forget about it. All right, so that's the 3 main drawings out of the 4 that we're going to put on our sheets. So we have our floor plan now done once you put dimensions in. Your furniture plan is completely done. Your floor finish plan will be done once we put in the little pictures over here. And then you're going to have a reflected ceiling plan, which is the one that we have over here. So this guy does need a few extra symbols in it. So we'll kind of take the time to fix this now too. So you're at an 1/8 inch scale down here at the bottom. So click on that, make it a 1/4 inch. And notice how these elevation markers just got smaller too. So we're going to hide those elevation marks because we don't need them anymore. Hide in view category. And then we're going to turn on the crop box and we'll pull that in kind of tight. And oh, this one still needs its bar scale and a north arrow. So I'm going to leave a little space there. So I'm going to leave this on for now until I put those in. So then we're going to go back to annotate up here and then symbol way over here. And all of these symbols should be now over here in your drop down menu. So I'm going to go to the scale first, put this in about there. Yeah, because, all right. And then we're going to put in the north arrow and put this about here. Okay, good to go. All right. And you can now kind of adjust and turn off this crop box if you want to. See, there it is down here. So it's the little crop symbol. Turn off the little light bulb. All right, so this plan is almost done too. One thing I forgot to mention is you do need to dimension some of the more critical elements in this space. So you don't need to dimension any of the lights here in the grid. Anybody laying this out is going to put the grid in, then they'll logically see where all your light fixtures are landing. However, like this light fixture here and say this light fixture here, like this is, you know, a fairly expensive chandelier they're spending money on. You would dimension to the closest wall. So I would run a dimension from here to here and here to here. This one here, same idea. Now this has a soffit. It's not quite done because this was like my demo example in class. So you really should have some can lights around here too. But this one here, I would probably dimension to the closest solid wall. This is a big glass wall here. So I would dimension from here to here, here to here. Or you're going to also dimension like inside this area here. This area later on in the week, I'm going to show you, we're going to do a section because again, you want to give them more information so they build this correctly for you. This big designer studio, honestly, this probably shouldn't be a gypsum board ceiling. It's pretty expensive. So they probably would have gone for a grid system. This was something I was kind of like demoing to everyone in class. But this light fixture in particular, I would definitely dimension the grid back in. Really, the only thing that matters to dimension is this guy. Because again, you're spending a lot of money. This was centered over kind of a seating area here. So you want to make sure you have some dimensions. So you are not dimensioning every single little can light. Again, they're going to just use their best logic for wherever you showed it placed. You do not need to dimension any of these lights that are clicking into this ACT system because again, it's pretty obvious to an electrician reading this plan where they're going to go. All right, so that's now getting through all 3 of these drawings, and I'm going to then make a video of the floor finish plan, but that's something that honestly we're probably going to cover together in class Thursday, but if you're buzzing along, you're welcome to do that too. But for homework, what I want everybody to do is set up these 3 files. So this is basically like instead of class and do when you walk in Thursday, have these 3 plans set up. So you're going to have your floor plan, your furniture plan, and your floor finish plan. This guy can wait for the extra stuff we're going to put on here. But then for homework, you're also going to, like this week for homework, before you walk in Thursday, you're going to have your dimensions all in here too. And again, that's a separate video. I'll send that out along with this one too. All right, good luck. Stay safe. Hopefully you don't lose power either on Monday. And we'll kind of muddle through the best we can Thursday to sort of catch up on all this stuff too.